What's up, Tiger fans? Welcome back to another episode of Tiger Talk TV. I am the Corey C. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss another upcoming episode. You can find us on the Apple Podcast app, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcast. Be sure to follow the show and tell every Tiger that you know. And remember, when you support Tiger Talk TV, it all helps the cause, which is the I Love Jackson State University. All right, Tiger fans, we're back in the SWAC Championship game. This makes the fourth time in 5 years, and we have a familiar opponent. We played this team 4 years ago in our first SWAC Championship game in a while, the Prairie View Panthers, and we have a special guest in the building. I'm so honored to have this legend join me again on Tiger Talk. He really needs no introduction. Ralph Cooper, and if you don't know him, just Google him and you'll find out all about him. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a legend. He is a man. So welcome back to the show, Mr. Cooper.
And thank you very much, Corey C. You can call me Ralph since you're Corey C. Thank you. Go ahead. I'm cool.
I appreciate it. Well, how have you been? It's been a minute since we've talked. How are things on your end?
Oh, quite well. I'm happy. Every day is Thanksgiving, and just, hey, it's a great day.
Absolutely. It's a great day. Well, these teams met 4 years ago, as I said, in the 2021 SWAC Championship game in Jackson, and it took an Isaiah Bolden kick return for a touchdown and a James Houston pick six for Jackson State to pull away and get the 27-10 victory. And both of those guys got drafted in the NFL, so that tells you what it took on our end to get past this Prairie View Panther team back then. But, of course, this is Prairie View's first trip back to the championship game, but Jackson State 3 times since that game, and it's the first time these two teams have met since then. So is Panther Nation excited about this rematch?
Yes, they're very excited, but I just want to add this. Was Aubrey Miller on that team, that Jackson State team? Aubrey Miller and what's the other one? James Houston? I think it was James Houston. Were they part of that particular Jackson State team?
They sure were. James Houston, Aubrey Miller, and Isaiah Bolden, absolutely. Aubrey Miller just won a championship in the CFL recently.
Yes, Saskatchewan, Rough Riders, if I'm correct. They won the championship.
Absolutely.
Right. And then,
absolutely.
And you got Houston playing and Houston is playing in Dallas with the Cowboys. So
Big D, and making waves.
I know. Congratulations. I just wanted to add that. Yes, the people here in the Houston area, they're very excited about the big matchup between Jackson State and Prairie View A&M University. First-year coach Tremaine Jackson has been tremendous. No knock on Bubba McDowell. He did a great job. He got the team there to the championship game, also winning the West. So it's a very big thing. And to see the Panthers go 9-3. And also the other thing that's exciting about this, it's been years, in fact, maybe the mid-'60s, since both Prairie View and Texas Southern University. Texas Southern went 6-5, Prairie View 9-3. Since both teams had winning records in the same year, you have to go back into the 60s, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm. So exciting time in Houston. So talk about that rivalry between Texas Southern and Prairie View. I know it was close. It got chippy there in this game, and the coaches kind of exchanged some barbs back and forth in the media. So what's it like having both teams with a respectable team?
Well, that was one of the things why many people, several of us back in the day wanted the game moved. That game used to be the last game of the season for both teams before, the division thing came up. It was the last game of the season for both Prairie View and Texas Southern, and the game wasn't drawing flags at that particular time because both teams had losing records. And the athletic director, Dr. Calvin White at that time, who gave up the job to Dr. Thurman Robbins, and also Brutus Jackson, who was the athletic director at Prairie View at the time, they went before the SWAC and asked if they make that game the first game of the season, and it was changed to the Labor Day Classic game. And it's been a rolling success since, and it's probably going to be bigger next year because of what happened this year with both teams. The winner making the trip to the winning the West Championship and making a trip to the SWAC Championship game. So it's going to be it's huge, and is gaining with the exception of the Prairie View Gremlin game in Dallas, the Cotton Bowl. This is the second best game of the season for Prairie View in regards to drawing attendance, and for Texas Southern, it's been their biggest draw at home since the start of the season. So that's where it is right now.
Absolutely. So last season, Prairie View went 5-7, 3-5 in the SWAC, and fourth in the West. But in comes new head coach Tremaine Jackson. Of course, you mentioned him, but the team now 9-3, 7-1 in the SWAC, and wins the Western Division. That's a drastic turnaround in one season. I'm sure you can probably go in a lot of different directions with this question, but how was he able to do it so fast?
Well, he did, in my opinion, because of, first of all, the athletic director had a dream. Anton Golf felt that the program could do better than it was doing under Coach Bubba McDowell, and some of us screamed, because we enjoyed Bubba. We liked him. I've been knowing him since he came here from the University of Miami of Florida, and played with the Houston Oilers back in the day. So he was a favorite around here. And plus, they won the West before with him. But the AD Golf felt that it was time to take the program, put his touch on the program. He makes the move. Tremaine Jackson, who played at the University of Houston, he's a Houstonian, Texas Southern product also, and Waltrip High School here in Houston. And he had won. He played in a Division II championship game last year. And he was labeled, sad to say, by some as a high school coach. You have some cool people in the world these days. So the high school coach, he rubs it in also. So the high school coach, I didn't never call him a high school coach. High school coach comes in and takes Prairie View to the championship game to show you that just because a guy didn't play in the NFL and maybe was coaching on another level, he can win at this particular level. He puts the right staff together, gets the right players in. He's got a senior field ball club, and the rest is history. Look at where they are now. They're getting ready to come to Jackson, Mississippi, to beat Jackson State in the championship game, which is not an easy task. We know what that means, but they've got buses coming. People are already filling up some of these bus rides to come over to Jackson to watch that game, and to show you how sincere some of these people are. They're doing the back-to-back. When I say the back-to-back, they're riding the bus over. They're not staying in the hotel. They're getting back on the bus and coming back to Houston after the game, or the Houston area after the game. So that's dedication, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens.
That's interesting. So you say the fans are coming, because I know Coach Jackson has been kind of critical of the fan base, even at some of the home games and homecoming and things like that throughout the season. So you think they're coming around and they're ready to really support this team out there in the championship?
I think the alumni will step up. I think the alumni will step up. They've been crying, and because of what's happening with Jackson. I mean, look at the success that was created again there by Deion Sanders, and Coach Taylor is taking it to another level right now. And there's just a lot of excitement in the air. And I think it's great to see these two teams with a great history. You got, 4 Hall of Famers out of Prairie View. I mean, 4 out of Jackson State. You've got 1 out of Prairie View. You should have 2. You got Kenny Houston out of Prairie View. He's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Otis Taylor should have been there years ago. He's in the running on the seniors ballot this year again. So hopefully that'll work out. But the history says that this is great, and it seems to be firing up some of the people who may be a little bit older now. They're a little bit older, but they remember the glory days at Prairie View. They want to get on the bus, and fly into Jackson, Mississippi, to see this football game. So I think that you're going to see a number of people from Prairie View there.
4 Pro Football Hall of Famers from Jackson State, but we feel like we should have 6. We're waiting for Mr. Harold Jackson to get in, as well as Jimmy Smith. They have a pretty strong case.
All great players. All great players. All great players. And the 4 you have in there are great, and the great Nim Barney, who may have been the greatest of all. Then you had Walter Payton, Jackie Slater, and then Robert Brazile. Right. And so you've got something to brag about. In my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Coach Jackson, what is his personality like? He's a really confident guy, obviously, but some on the outside may say he comes across as a little bit cocky or a little bit arrogant at times. So what is he like off the camera?
Well, he's a little cocky. I mean, you have to be, in my opinion, most coaches, they're arrogant and they're cocky to a degree, and they try to contain it. But when you're still young, it may be a little bit harder to hide that or to control it a little bit. But I think you want that in a coach. You want a coach who believes in his program, believes that he can lead men, young men, and lead men who help him to coach the team in a positive way, and also understands the history of the place that he's working in. See, many of these guys getting these jobs now, they have no clue of they don't even take time to really understand the history of the program that they're representing as a head football coach. He, in my opinion, does, and he does it. He's done his homework in that regard, and he's coming from a place where it wasn't a HBCU, and in high school he didn't go to a historically black school in Houston, but he was coached by people who have a history at Prairie View A&M University, and that you have to know these individuals to understand that type of attitude that he has, because it was something that was built ingrained in him by the people who coached him in high school, and they've always taught him. They taught him that no matter where you went, if you're prepared, you could be a success, and that's one of the things I get from him. And it's good to see these fresh faces in the SWAC. It's good to see Coach Taylor, in my opinion. It's good to see him and some of the others that are, Coach Robinson, Coach Shade. It's good to see some of these young guys coming in. You're listening to a guy who interviewed Eddie Robinson, W.C. Gordon, John Merritt, Jake Gaither. I'm aging myself, but I feel blessed, and I feel that I have to share this. Those guys sold their programs. They sold the players. They put the player. See, one of the things that happens now, and this is why I like what you're doing at Jackson, the players are out there. You put the coach puts the players out. It's not just about the coach. People are not coming to the game to see the coach because he's not playing. They're coming to see him coach. But the main people that most people come to games, they came to games to see Walter Payton. They came to games to see Doug Williams. They didn't come to the games not to see the players. You have to promote the players, and that's what I like about some of these young guys coming in. They're promoting players also while they take that ride as head coaches.
Yeah. So Prairie View was picked to finish third in the West in the preseason poll and only had one preseason All-SWAC selection. That was the running back McDowell, who was second team. But what those polls couldn't really factor in were the 70 new players added to the team. It was a major overhaul. Talk about the job that he did from a recruiting standpoint.
Well, he sold the program. He sold the program to individuals who were looking for a place to play football, of course, and also to further their education. In most cases, that was second on the list. May not have been in some cases, but it should have been. So you bring in guys who want to further their education and play football, and they see the campus there. You've got a stadium on the campus. You've got tennis courts on the campus. You've got a first-class track and field facility on the campus. You've got a baseball facility on the campus. And then they're still building on the campus. They've remodeled the gym where they play basketball, and the football field is a first class. The football athletic facility is first class. So all of that helped play a role in that. And then his personality in being able to convince these guys to come in, and then putting the staff together to bring all these people together. See, think about it. You're bringing in all these people. You're coming in as a first-year coach, and you find a way. You have a game plan to blend all these coaches together who are coaching together maybe for the first time, and then you've got all of these players who are playing together for the first time, and you pull this off. No knock on the other coaches in the SWAC, including Coach Taylor. The man probably should be the coach of the year in the SWAC because of what he's been able to accomplish. You just said it. Most people who did the voting or the coaches or whatever on these preseason polls, they picked them to finish third. The people who were picked ahead of them, where they're going to be watching the game on TV or something, in the stands while he's playing. So it was a great accomplishment. But his personality and his will to win and the love of his players, that he shows the players, the respect, and the coaches do the same, played a big role in what's happening there.
Talk about the type of stamp he's put on the program and the type of culture he's created.
Well, he's created they're still building on the culture because you have many people. This is why he's complaining. Many people just come to tailgate. You got to get the students more involved, and I think that's going to happen. When you start winning, that plays a role in people coming back to your program and showing some support. So I think the first, if they can get the students to come to the games, and I think they can, to make it a priority to be at the games, and then you're attracting the older people to come to the games also. But you've got to let them know. You've got to get the message. Just because you show your support coming to tailgate, come inside the game. Come inside and watch the game. And hey, if you're paying $200 or $300 to go see Beyonce or some rapper or somebody, you can pay $20, $25 to support your program. You claimed you wanted a winning program. They win 9 games. That should be a good start. And the other thing, the PR department, the public relations department, the media department, and the marketing department, they need to build on this also. You won 9 games. You're in the championship game. You need to start selling season tickets immediately after your season ends, in my opinion.
Yeah. There's an old saying that a team takes on the mindset and the personality of its head coach, and you talked about Coach Jackson's personality. What's the identity of the team?
You just hit the key right there. When they won the Texas Southern game, the game against Texas Southern, they had a touchdown call back in the closing seconds of the game, right? They're about to lose the game. They've got time for one more play. They're on the 20-yard line. The officials have penalized them and moved them back to the 20 yards from the end zone. And to show you the personality of the team, the coach says this after the game: "Don't give me credit for calling the play that won the game." He gave it to his quarterback, Cam Brewster. The quarterback called the play. Now think about that. He let the quarterback call the play, and they win the game on a touchdown pass at the end of the game. That's the personality of the team, in my opinion. They believe they can win, and they believe they seemingly believe in themselves as a team. That's what he has been able to. He and his staff have been able to blend into their minds that they are a football team, not an individual type thing, but a football team.
Mm-hmm. Is it primarily an offensive or a defensive-minded team?
It's some of both, in my opinion. I think it's some of both, and I think they're peaking at the right time also. I think they're peaking at the right time. They lost the Jackson State game at home on a field goal. That was a long 50-some-odd yard field goal that was attempted. Alabama State. I'm sorry. What did I say? Alabama State. They lost the game.
I think you're looking into the future when you say Jackson State.
I am.
When you lost the Jackson State game, I think you.
Well, yeah, okay. When they lost to Alabama State, they lost on a field goal. At the last play of the game was a field goal, a 53-yard attempt by a freshman. Man, you notice I said by a freshman, and the ball went wide or whatever at the end of the game. He had the distance, but he went wide. That shows you the confidence that the coach and the player and the team had in regards to trying to win that game. That was a huge game, but they lost it. And since then, the last game they scored 59 or 60 some odd points. Mm-hmm. So I think they're peaking at the right time. Now, some people can they score? They can't score. They can't score 30 or 40 points against Jackson State because it's Jackson State, and they're playing in Jackson, Mississippi. And hey, they may have a point, but I don't think where they're playing the game is going to keep them from playing well. In my opinion, I think they're going to play well. And they understand that they're playing a very good football team. An outstanding football team is going to take a special effort to beat Jackson State for the SWAC Championship in Jackson, Mississippi.
Right. So let's talk about what it'll take.
Coming up next, Part 2. Check the description for the link. If you enjoy our content and appreciate what we do, kindly consider donating to the channel.